We're doing it, everybody. We're recording a podcast in real time. Our voices are being picked up by recording equipment, and our images, our visages, are also being picked up by video recording equipment. So we will take these elements, we will put them together and present them on the internet in a nice, tidy package that we call the Valley Cast.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your show.
That was a really good intro, Joe. I actually really like Steve's out today, ladies and gentlemen. He's sick.
Little sicky boy. Little sicky boy.
We wish Steve the best. We hope he recovers. Joe, I got super high the other night, and I downloaded a Kindle book called Batman Resurrection. And it is, I'm going to read the first paragraph to you. This is first part of two books in a series that take place between Batman and Batman Returns, the Tim Burton films.
Oh, okay. So this is Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Michael Keaton and that same, essentially what that world would look, fleshing out that world, that Tim Burton world.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
fun.
Jim Carrey doesn't exist. The Penguin exists, but not yet as, I don't know. I haven't read it yet. So here we go.
Wait, hold on. Pause. I got to open the door. My daughter's outside and it's locked.
Yeah, you got to turn on the bat signal. Joe likes to lock his daughter out of the house sometimes. A lot of fathers will lock their daughters inside the house as a mode of protection. Joe likes to kick her out into the wild. He will put a little knapsack on a stick and he'll put sandwiches in it.
Not there,
but have to carry it around and go across like a little Tom Sawyer woman, because he's from Montana and that's how they raise their offspring.
Nary a locked door there. Nary.
I love the word nary, dude. That's so fun.
I know, it's a good one. Anyways, continue.
There's got to be a better way to read a map. Carlo Babique lowered his map and squinted up at the street sign, barely visible. Someone had knocked out the street light or shot it out. In this neighborhood, there was no telling. The sun was about to set, but nobody in this part of Gotham City ever laid eyes on it after 3 anyway. The buildings were too tall. Carlo had moved to the city years ago and still had never gotten his bearings. It was worse when he was in a hurry, like now. Culver and Klebs, but which way on Klebs is Culver? A beer truck whisked past, splashing through water puddled by the afternoon rain. It soaked Carlo and Map alike. Yeah, I'm probably not going to finish this.
The way you're reading it makes it sound not fun.
No. And there's a sardonic, disrespectful tone that perhaps I need to get past. I mean, I did purchase this thing.
You're making me feel like it's written bad, and now you're making me feel like all comic books are bad.
This isn't even a comic book, dude. This is prose. This is all novel.
I don't like that. That wasn't very good.
I felt the same way, and then I'm like, is all writing bad? Is that good? I don't like when him and Map alike. I don't know.
Anyway, the buildings are tall.
The buildings are too tall.
So I thought it was a graphic novel, and you just made it way less fun, because what was going through my mind was, oh shit, the Tim Burton aesthetic actually makes more sense in print. Like, I think it could look way cooler than what they made it look
right.
on, which is cool anyways. But like, oh, they could really lean into the Tim Burtonisms of it and darkness with the right type of artist. And you just read me real not good words.
What do you mean? Yeah, I read the reviews, and the reviews are stellar. And then as I was reading them, I was like, are these fake reviews? Because it does say that he goes into extreme detail about like the weapons and the aesthetic and the way the city looks in an effort to capture that Tim Burton thing. And I can respect the idea of the imagination taking over and not needing a visual aid. But I don't know if I can get past the prose. We'll see. I'll update as we go.
Like, download the whole thing, throw it in Chat GPT, and put, "Hey, Chat GPT, make this better," and see what happens.
Yeah. It could be like, oh, I actually wrote this.
Yeah, it could work. You never know. Yeah, the Tim Burton ones are so fun, and from a look standpoint, but they're tonally now they're so different than what we're used to that it's almost a slap in the face, but they're still good.
The Tim Burton films,
yeah,
I kind of like that. Growing up, I didn't know it looked bad, and I kind of am still nostalgic for that. Like, oh, you can really tell this is just a soundstage, or like really bad models. uh I still like it a little bit. I think it's cool looking. It's like it seems part of the Tim Burton look to the point that I don't know that it was able to be captured as well when they expanded it in the Flash, which I did like the Batman parts in the Flash. So
It is interesting to think a lot of people don't like that old soundstagey look. Like, oh, clearly this was in a it's a manufactured set in a building. You even going farther back, it's like when in Technicolor days when they would be walking past like a painted background the whole time.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
painted background, you
cool.
put trees in front of it. But it's cool because it's like part of us wants to be lost into a reality and you don't see that stuff, but then the other part of us also wants to know that we're watching art and we're seeing this thing that was made by humans, and you don't
Yeah,
feel that the fourth wall is kind of there and you can see it and experience it in real time.
yep,
That's why we like musical theater and live theater. That's we don't go there going like this doesn't look real.
that's true. Sometimes I do because with my wife because we're assholes, but because that's they're faking it. That's not a real fire truck.
That's that would be the funniest bit, to be the couple that's heckling at a live theater show saying not real.
It's 2025, not 1970. Neil Simon play or whatever. That's that authenticity thing is like what Jack White talks about. Well, he'll leave in like the sound of his fingers changing chords because he likes the sound of it being feeling like it's human or whatever.
Dave
Speaking
Grohl
of,
does the same thing. All right,
really,
R.I.P. Dave Grohl, at least from
um,
a PR standpoint, that people think he's the good guy anymore. But they actually two things. One, they just dropped a new song like yesterday or 2 days ago. Give it a listen.
oh, really cool.
And but he would talk about the same thing about rock and roll and recording. Like this was back kind of like mid 2000s. He was talking about it a lot, especially at award shows when it's like he's got no disrespect for the Britney Spears of the world, but he was talking about how it was overly produced and like they would change the voices to be perfect. And he's like, the imperfections are what make it perfect.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
voice cracks. It's the fact that we're not singing it right. It's the fact that there are little mistakes that you can't replicate in a recording, be it from the drum or the guitar or whatever like that. Makes it more real.
Joe. I was texting with my brother David, who is the father of two young boys, and he sent me a photo of them on 4th of July, and it was all of these kids with their friends hanging out, and his youngest is named Jack, and Jack had a chainsaw, like a fake chainsaw that he was holding, and he looked really funny in the yeah. I assume it was like I was like, is that real? But he looked, he's like trying to look tough with a chainsaw. And then I said jokingly, "Did you call him Lumberjack?" And then that little thing called a little tickle memory came in, and I go, "Why does that sound familiar?" And then I went, "Oh yes." And I searched on YouTube for a channel called Barats and Beretta.
Ooh.
And I was like, what is it called? Something about Jack. And I went to y'all's channel and I found Lumberjacks and I watched it. I sent it to my brother. I don't know if he put it together that it was you.
Oh, really?
Because he was like, that's really funny. And I was like, okay. But that sketch really holds up, dude. I really liked it. And having known you for so long now, I can imagine you writing it and being like, Flapjack.
Yeah, that one was a me jam. Uh, it's one of my favorite things that I did with Barats and Beretta, and it happened right when we did SourceFed. It was one of the last big productions we did before like things
Yeah.
started to go down.
I know it was like right, like the door was, you
Yep.
swung on. You got that one.
Super enjoyed making it. I think it was my first big like personal production, like one where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go buy these shirts. I'm gonna yada yada. I'm gonna get the location and get all the people on. And it was a good learning experience. But man, I wish it did better as far as universal acclaim. But it's one of my favorite ones that we ever did.
Universal acclaim is in like the response.
Yeah, I think it's positively responded to via comments and stuff, but I wish it would have blown up like some of the other videos.
I mean, 300. It's got like 367,000 views.
Not good enough.
You're right. Comparatively to Mother's Day and some of your greatest hits.
Yeah, there's so many good moments in that video. So many good moments.
Yeah, the lumberjacks one.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are. It's
Cracker
very
Jack,
funny.
Blackjack, so good. And then the way she's just on the ground at the end.
Yeah. Oh, the way that you could tell the way that she's on the ground of everyone going, yeah, just look as mangled as possible. Like, because it's such a stupid thing and it's such a violent looking corpse. And then Luke, we should buy some guns.
And then the whole idea, and this is such like YouTube deep cut, that we are shooting that in the Corridor Digital lot, like outside of their place. And we had Corridor Digital in the video. And I'm sitting there being like, okay, we're going to get you on a green screen. And I'm like, man, I'm doing keyframe by keyframe, really shitty effects that I worked a long time on. And they're in the video.
Yeah, and
So
just
happy.
looking.
Just like, oh, the heads, the leads, the avatars for special effects on YouTube.
I'm gonna
Gracious.
add a little. Yeah, I'll just add a little gunshot here.
Yeah.
They're gonna love this. They're gonna be very impressed by my skills.
Peter Gilroy is really funny in it. His stupid yeah. Ah. Yep.
Yep, down. It
All
was
those
great.
yeah, it's great. Well, yeah, thanks, man. That makes me happy that it still brings a little joy here and there.
Yeah, and all because of that kid holding that chain, my nephew holding that chainsaw, and I was like, yep, I know that feeling, or I know what that is. What was I had this thought that just came to mind about some kind of content. I don't know if it was source fed. Oh, so I don't know if I told you this. I've been doing these shows with my wife Grace Helbig where I open for her and I do stand up. However, I tend to sort of just pop out. I'll do it and I'll leave. Wondrously sweet gay couple came up to Grace after the show and said that I had done a bad job of promoting who I was because they were like, we didn't realize that it's Elliott from the Valleyfolk.
That doesn't what?
I know. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, first of all, my plan is working. And I was like, that's really sweet, I guess. But yeah, it was I people are out there. Who knew?
Wow. That person's probably watching this. Well, no, probably not, because that person would have known.
They probably would have known. Right. So kind of who knows? I wonder, did something happen? Who knows? Um Funny. We have fun. Fake cry for another 15 minutes with yeah, the show's been great, and also I've been doing this Rebel HQ thing with the Young Turks. So for folks who want to see me talk about politics, I do a video for them once a week. And I also have been co-hosting. I've co-hosted on the Damage Report with John Iadarola, and that one was really fun. And then I've co-hosted with Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, and I'm going to be doing that once a week moving forward,
Dude,
which is
you're
really
killing
fun.
it.
Yeah, it's really nice. They are a really interesting group, and they kind of let me say whatever I want, which is nice. We all, from what I can gather, people have a pretty diverse set of political opinions, and they're certainly open to like being challenged and stuff. But it's really fun. It's an interesting avenue to be making some kind of content again. It also forces me to stay up to date on politics, and that is maybe not, yeah, fun.
No. Have you done anything post passage of Big Beautiful Bill? Have you got to talk about that yet?
No, the last thing I did was on I did a video on because I pitched this one. It was Trump and the opening of Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, fun. Yeah, great.
I
Awesome.
felt like I was a good one for that. And I did a diatribe on the actual way you run away from an alligator because I thought that would be funny because it's a clip of Trump saying that you run zigzag to get away from an alligator as opposed to straight to get away from a snake, which is not true. You don't run zigzag away from an alligator. It will decrease the distance between you and the alligator and therefore make your life much shorter. And then I went into like the going to zoology classes and like them teaching me how to wrangle the alligator and like how you stay along the axis of the body and all that stuff. So I was trying to give tips to people in case they ever encounter something.
I love that you took the very smart angle of look, don't support concentration camps, but let's be funny and talk about the alligators. So
Yeah.
maybe you'll accidentally hear the other thing that I said earlier.
Yeah, and then I kind of did that thing, and then at the end I went. Also, there's this book on indigenizing philosophy that helps you understand how fundamentally different our relationship to time and space is compared to the native peoples whose land this whole thing actually inhabits. And so you can check this book out, and you can check this other book out to check these things out because we tend to forget that this isn't just an ecological crisis or humanitarian crisis for these people. It's very spiritual and tied to who they are, their understanding of their self and life. And then I was like, bye everybody. See you next week. And that video didn't do great. So we'll see.
Are you starting to get any backlash yet? Are you starting to get any political haters on your Instagrams or your just anything?
No, the first video I did got like 800 and something thousand views. The comments were universally nice to the point that I asked them if they were deleting
Yeah,
mean
yeah. You ain't
comments.
used to that anymore. No, no, no.
Yeah, and they said they don't do that, and they said don't look at the comments. And since then, I haven't. I'll glance at them maybe once every couple of videos, and most of the time it's just people talking about politics. I got called like a libtard, which I thought was kind of endearing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's just nice. It's kind of
I'll
warm.
take that one.
A hug. You
That's
know?
like a classic. I'm not gonna get offended by that, but it's people who are very angry. Some of the comments I've seen on some of the other shows, people are just there does seem to be an uptick in overt racism, Joe, and
A
I'm
little one.
pretty grossed out by it. And it's you sort of hear about it, we talk about it, and it becomes sort of like a caricature. And then when you see it in these comments, it's really sad. Then you're like, man, people really are. And this isn't like sensitive woke race. This is straight up abject racism,
Yeah.
and it's gnarly.
The door has been opened and the zero consequences have been presented so people can be the worst versions of themselves everywhere, but anonymously seems to
Yeah,
be the jam right now, be it online or be it, with your fucking face covered, picking up people off the street,
I know, dude. I was
powerful motherfucker.
viscerally angry the other night when it was um I think it's human nature when something you hear about it and upsets you and you see it online, but then when you know it's so close to you, it gets really upset. But yeah, the ICE agents directly at the target that like I smell the food they cook every time I go down there. And there's like a line, and to see that and be like, that's down the street from me. And just these people in the masks and the unmarked cars and shoving people in them, and it's awful.
And their
Like
budget has just ballooned by 17 times.
three times that of the military or something, or Marines.
Yeah, like this is all bad stuff. It's like it's and just watching people be okay with it because it's supporting their ill-advised hate that has been manufactured and
It really is manufactured. It is gnarly. Like I keep using that word, but
good. It's a good word though. Gnarly is a good word, and so is nary. Nary and gnarly.
very gnarly.
Day.
Nary and gnarly walk into a bar. Yeah, it is horrible. And the boogeyman aspect of it, of just like, yeah, you guys really were like putting all your eggs in this basket of these poor people are the problem. And I've seen this game before, but what do I know?
We're just two stupid guys on the internet.
Why don't we say these really well articulated, morally sound, and factually correct things, and then go, but what do we know?
I think sorry, we're just dipping into politics a little bit, everybody. I think the real interesting line that we'll be dancing with is what happens with Mom Donnie,
Yeah,
in New York. Not from an elected standpoint, but I think that is the line that we will see. I think they're already arresting actual citizens, and it's not great, and it's fucking horrible. It's all horrible. Even non-citizens. This fucking sucks. It's disgusting on every fucking level. But I do think the threats with him, because of what he represents and who he is and how he's firing up the base, that if they cross a line there, that's going to be like some point of no return shit.
Yeah, I don't think he's joking about that stuff. I don't think it's like I was reading some
I
article
don't think he's joking either.
yeah, it's very and the calling him a communist is very smart. Branding him that way is very smart. Uh, and the fact that he's an openly democratic socialist is not gonna do him favors from anyone on that side of the camp. Even though I think it's great, and I think more people should do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. We're gonna see. I just keep enjoying his rap song a lot. Have you heard that?
No.
You haven't heard it? Do you have? We have to watch this right now.
Please do. Do I have to give you permission to share?
I don't know that I've ever done this before.
Let's see here real quick. Let's see.
I get unreasonably scared when I have to share a screen, but I'm all good.
Yeah, try sharing. Press share, and it may ask you for permission. It may ask me for permission.
All right, let me look it up. Oh, walk around. Michael Brooks started playing. That's funny. Speaking of politics, the late Michael Brooks. Okay, let me see. What's the Donnie Nani?
Him? Is it him rapping or somebody else rapping?
Oh, it's him.
Yeah, this guy social media.
Let me try to find. I want to get this queued up so you can see some of the. Okay, here we go. This is about his grandma. Hence the title, Nani.
Nani Nani. Oh, mom, Donnie Nani. Hey, you're screen sharing. Let's see if it plays the music. That might be the bad part. Sometimes you have to change those settings.
Is it playing?
Yeah. Is that really his Nani?
I don't know.
Whoa, it's him. Dude, this is pretty good.
It actually is. I like it a lot. Let me see.
Is that him doing the whisper walk, the whisper talk?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is this part of the campaign?
No.
Was this
like 6 years ago?
Whoa. I love him. I'm in.
Yeah, pretty great.
We just need more. How old is he? 35?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe younger.
We just need more 40 and under. Give me like
She's 33, dude.
No, sprinkle in a couple like 20-year-olds. Like I do think 20-year-olds these days tend to this is from experience and personal experience and also just like life experience. I think 20-year-olds tend to not skew Alexander Hamilton smart and in tune with the life these days. So I think 20s are still kind of almost like our teen years now. So sprinkle in a couple so we have the voice. Fill up government with people between 30 and 40. Just fucking spill them in, please. Fucking please.
Did you see me making fun of Hakeem Jeffries on my Instagram story with his...
what the it's so tough. Would you take a picture with your bat?
Chuck Schumer, we actually call it a big ugly bill. Thank you guys.
So you did so much.
It's a big ugly bill. Got him. Anyway, we'll stop talking about politics, guys. I apologize.
No, well, it's at some point is like I don't want to do that online all the time, nor very often at all. But I do think it is important with where we are in history right now to maybe kind of throw out into the ring where you stand on all this shit, because it is going one direction, and wherever it goes in the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully you can look back and be like, at least I said I didn't like it.
Yeah. I said I didn't like it on a podcast. What more do you want from me?
I attended the rallies. I voted.
I joined the Democratic Socialists of America yesterday, and I did actually. But I.
Then I gotta go. Goodbye. Bink.
Yep.
Bink. I'm an old school. I'm an old school Democrat.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Hate it all. It's so stupid. There's no nuance. There's no actual thinking anymore. It's the worst. And that's coming from somebody that's stupid. Like,
you're not stupid.
Fucking the fact that neither side can be like, you don't have to believe everything that we believe. Like,
I know. Well, it is remarkable how many dumb people there are. That's something I'm slowly coming to the conclusion of. And it sounds pompous, and it's hard to, because it's not the implication that I'm smart. It's really being like, wow, we have failed. Like, I think in terms of critical thinking,
education, critical thinking, it's all slipped through the cracks over the last 30 years, and we're just kind of at the headway of it. And it's not even like a stupid people thing at the end of the day. I think it's like life is hard, and it's very rare that people can be in tune with everything all the time, especially politics. And for the most part, people aren't in tune with politics. It's a hard thing to consider. There's a lot of weight in caring about where everything is going from a judicial and a legislation point of view. Like it's just hard.
Mhm.
That makes you worry about people, and that makes you worry about yourself, and that makes you concerned about a billion other fucking things than you ever thought you would be concerned of when you were leaving high school and being like, the real world's fun. There's so much going on that it's a luxury to be able to sit down and actually take all of this in. And
Yeah.
most people don't, because they don't have the time,
Yeah.
the energy. They were never taught how to do it adequately. So it's like, I think it's even less stupidity, even though there is a lot of willful, ignorant stupidity by choice, I do feel like. But then a lot of them just weren't ever presented with this. And now that it's like an anger fueled hate fucking dumpster fire, it's so much easier to lean into the emotion of everything than lean into the critical thinking of everything. And
I think you're right. It's like literally people have jobs and they're trying to take care of their families. And I think that is a lesson that, especially on the left, people forget. Like so many folks are just trying to make ends meet. They don't have time to sit around and read, Capital by Marx or whatever. And I saw this tweet from a right-wing influencer that was like a screenshot of, I don't know if it was like Mom Donnie's tuition, but it was like 68 grand a year or something. And he said socialism is a luxury belief. And in some ways, I think that is accurate, because like it's the same with psychology, like, or depth psychology in particular. Like you have to have a certain sense of security to have the time, the resources to like look inward sometimes, and getting psychologically healthy, going to therapy, all of these things are materially more difficult for people than we tend to forget, or we tend to remember.
Yeah. And
So,
and the problem is that now the ball has started rolling. All of those things have now become even harder, or will become even harder to even approach.
yeah.
Healthcare.
Well, it's like by design too. I mean,
yeah.
the whole problem with student loans, my understanding is it originated with Reagan in California when he was running in California around the time of Vietnam, because college campuses were protesting a war and they didn't want a quote unquote educated proletariat, because they knew that if the working class, because back then anyone could go to college in California basically, and so they developed the student loan thing where it's like anyone can still go, but you have to pay it back eventually, and it was a way of keeping poor people out of higher education so that they wouldn't start reading these things and start going, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't be getting involved in unnecessary wars.
Yeah, I like to think there's a part of me that believes that people are not that calculated and evil. But man, some smart people are evil.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that clip in the 80s of the Republican strategist being like, you can't say the N-word anymore, so you have to say busing, and you have to say this, and you have to say that, because then but the N-word's fallen out of favor, so we have to use these more vague terms.
Ugh.
And it's just like an audio clip of him just owning it. It's very sad.
Politics is gross. Content online that I've been really enjoying. Do you ever watch the dude on The Subject that does the what's your one hot big take? And he's like talking in a Metro card, and somebody's sitting.
Yeah, he pops up now all the time.
I love that guy.
He's fun.
That's a good show.
I love that, and it makes me want to put a mic on a Metro card I find it really satisfying to look at that microphone. It's really good branding.
It's been very, very hard for me to overcome the new creator quirks, my new show, of holding the mic or having your mic be incredibly visible, like those big black boxes that people put on their shirts or their hats, or they just hold it, they put it on a Metro card. There's an old school hide the mic part of me, tape it to my chest on SourceFed. That's just like, I don't get the aesthetic. But now I'm starting to warm up to it, because it's just like, hey, we're not trying to hide anything. I'm making shitty content. You want to do this with me? Okay, bye.
Yep. Maybe it makes it easier because you don't feel like people know then immediately what you're doing. But yeah, we were in St. Louis last week, and I didn't see it, but Grace noticed like multiple dads with his kids, just like several of them vlogging openly, like family vlogging, and just holding it the whole time. And we were like, Grace was like, is this just going to be a thing that like people are vlogging all the time? And I was like, I guess so. Like, we think of it as this thing that solely exists, but this was like a large sample size out of just a regular St. Louis barbecue spot, and everyone just talking to the camera. And I was like, is there a convention going on? And there
Huh.
wasn't. It was people like it's become so normalized, which I guess, I mean, fine. It's just sort of strange.
I wonder if you were coming across content creators or if you were coming across like this is also the way to do family videos. Like back in the day, our dads were carrying these big ass VHS
Mm-hmm.
recorders and they look crazy, but now
I
it's
think,
on a
yeah, I think the same. I'm like, well, if I had kids, I mean, I'd film a lot, but this seemed, I think, I mean, like straight up vlogging. Like,
probably was. I mean, I don't think anybody can comprehend the years 2009 to 2011 ish, even 12 when you kind of getting into it a little bit more. Man, they threw out those flip recorders to everybody, all the creators. And
oh right,
if you went anywhere, everybody was constantly vlogging. Everybody. It was like for a year there, it's like you couldn't go into somebody's place without fear. It always made me uncomfortable of being like thrown into somebody's
mm-hmm.
because they were making content all the time. It's so much anxiety. I hated it so much. It's the worst. And flab and family vloggers are gross. They're gross. Hot take.
Whoa.
They're gross.
You need, give me a little microphone with a little Metro card on it.
They're gross.
Um, Steve, can you just edit out the political parts that you specifically disagree with? Steve, when you're editing this, can you just take out the ones that you disagree with?
It, delete the whole thing, please.
We'll wait. What do you got going on, Joe? Should we wrap this up?
We finished Taskmaster this season.
Should I?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
I know Jason Mantzoukas can be a
Mhm.
little rating in this episode or in this series. I think they call it a series. They don't call it a season in this series.
Yeah, they do. They call us.
Because he brings this American destructive flair that you could tell is kind of, I think, annoying for them at first. I think they do warm up to him. And as a viewer, you also warm up to him a little bit more, which is good. And I think the group is good. It's a good group. So I think it is worth sticking with. It is a good season. And I found myself laughing out loud quite a few times. Like the last like 3 episodes, I was having a great time.
Okay, great. I'll check it out. I need
I
something
think
to
it's
watch.
a perfect show. It's so good. I love it so much.
We're gonna go see Superman and 40X
When?
Friday, and I gotta tell you, I I have a bad feeling that I'm not gonna like it at all.
The movie or the experience?
The movie, I think the experience I'll like because I think that that's a silly, stupid experience that never gets old because it's gimmicky.
You're gonna get hit with so much wind when he's flying.
Oh, you're right. It's gonna be so stupid. I can't wait. That part's gonna be great. But I have a bad feeling I'm not gonna like it. I don't know.
I I
It
think
hasn't grabbed me once. I mean, I know it's Superman and it's like generic and it's Superman, but like,
Superman never grabs. Like Superman will
yeah,
never grab. However, because it's James Gunn and they're like really holding back on showing a lot of the Nathan Fillion stuff, I'm like, there's hope. I think there's hope that it's gonna be all right.
all right. I hope so. I mean, I don't know of any James Gunn movie I haven't somewhat enjoyed, but I don't know of anyone that I've ever wanted to watch again after
Oh,
watching it.
even Guardians of the Galaxy.
Maybe that's an exception. Maybe the first one,
Mhm.
or no, the third one actually was really good.
Yeah, so he's
Fair enough. Fair enough, Joe.
like he's really good at doing and there's a reason I think he cast the movie the way he did, or at least wrote the movie the way he did. He's really good at taking a group of people and putting them together and making them be fun together. And that's why
Yeah.
there's so many extra side characters, I think, in this. And it isn't just like this is a Lois and Clark
Yeah.
situation.
He's like Martin Scorsese. Like you want to be in that camp,
Ah,
but
so cool. Oh, it'd be so cool being that camp.
good job, Flula.
I know. Oh, I wonder if he'll make an appearance. Love that guy too. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. He's great.
Big Flula fans here.
Folks, as always, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go hop on a flight to Atlanta, flying into a shitty part of Atlanta called Atlanta.
There you go. Say that on stage. See what happens.
Yeah, he does. That's what. Yeah, he goes, flying into a shitty part of Atlanta called Atlanta. He just goes, that one's right over the plate. Just straight stand up.
Someday. Someday,
All right, y'all.
I'll give you. I'll open
How
up.
long was this? Have we been recording?
I think it's like I don't know, 40 minutes, maybe. It's a little short guy. Trying
Is
to
this? Did you enjoy this more than the one you did with Steve, Joe?
Ooh, look, you're gonna have
Come
to.
on, be honest.
You're gonna have to let me go sit with my feelings for a while, and let me just self reflect, and I'll.
Yeah,
And
you have the luxury to do that. You privileged commie. Look at my dog showing you his penis.
what up, dog?
Did you see him since he's been shaved?
No, he got shaved.
Hey, bud, look here. Hey.
He's such like a. You could cosplay him as the Easter Bunny on Easter.
Yeah, totally.
You could do that. He's a good boy. Look at that boy.
Good boy. All right, man.
All right, dude. Love you. Let's talk soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.